Okay, so I'm not sure everybody remembers this, but today something pretty remarkable has happened in Canada for Black history. I think everybody learns this in school, but about the Civil War and about the end of slavery in the United States. Basically, a bunch of people who were former slaves had escaped to Canada, and a lot of them came to Halifax, Nova Scotia. And there was a whole community that was developed of African descendant people called Afticville. And so they were a thriving community and everything like that. And basically, in like the 1960s, the local government decided to demolish the whole area. They like tore every house, every church, everything, all of it. And apparently there was a story today on the news about how they like came in and like destroyed the church through the night. So people must have woken up the next day and the whole church was gone or whatever. So really horrible, heartbreaking thing. People lost their homes, their livelihood, everything. And that was in the 1960s. So like that's in my parents' lifetime. Anyhow, a couple of years ago, I think it was like 2010, they received an apology from the government. And today, they were recognized as a UNESCO heritage site, basically. I can't remember the exact name, but it has to do with like a place of memory and history and like due to the enslavement of people. Anyhow, that's what it is now. And so now they've rebuilt the church, but there's no interpretive center. I think they were supposed to rebuild the interpretive center and it's not there. So, yeah, now the government of Canada has to recognize that this is a UNESCO heritage site. It's part of Canadian history that people won't forget, that they basically how they treated the black people in Canada who lived in that community, how they basically just took everything from them in like to do urban sprawl or whatever to build up the city of Halifax. They basically bulldozed all these people's homes and everything. So, really, really sad and horrific story, but it's good that it's told now. Because a lot of people, they're like, when I was a kid, they'd be like, how are you a Canadian if you're like black? They don't know like black history in Canada. They only learn about black history in America and they think it's the same. They don't realize that black people lived in Canada for a very long time. So it's good to see stories like this to, know what happened and to know that, there is some black history in Canada too. So, but it is very sad to hear what was done to those people in our lifetime, basically. Not like 200 or 300 years ago, but just like less than 60 years ago, right? So, I think it's great and that the town site is getting more recognition. Some of the people who actually used to live there were highlighted in this story. This was on Global News tonight. So, yeah, very good thing that was done that's outside of the Canadian government and it puts a spotlight on Canada to say, this is part of your history that you shouldn't forget. What do you think about it?